Go live. Alright, we should be live. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're obviously going to be going, we're going to start texturing Project Urgot. Finally, yay! It's been a long journey, but I feel like we are finally at the stage that I feel like most of you guys will be interested in the process. And this is part of the process that I enjoy the most as well. And so the UVs are completed for him. Let's take a look at his UVs. So what I ended up doing was, yes, I created a UV sheet to where like all of it filled up the square, and then I kind of shrunk it halfway. And that basically allowed for us to utilize those UVs with the legs and kind of squeeze them in there, since they are also kind of squeezed that way as well. And yeah, then I also, obviously the gun's finished. I did that off stream. And then I kind of broke him apart into different pieces that I'm going to go in Substance Painter and start texturing these parts individually. So without further ado, let's get into the texturing. I'm going to just minimize that and open up Substance Painter. Actually, whoops. What I need to do is grab this model and I'm going to soften the edges and I'm going to export this as its own separate piece. Yo, Shep, have fun with the texturing. Thank you, Vozu, I think is how you say it. We're going to open up a new scene in Adobe Substance 3D Painter. Let me also get some music going. I'm doing some different music now, more leak stuff, something more chill. So file new, and we're gonna grab Project Urgot single piece. And from here, what I want to do is just bake all of the AO map, curvature. I'm gonna bake all these maps. I'm gonna put it to 2048, it's fine. And we're just gonna bake. I know the stream gets a bit laggy when I do this, so just give it a moment. Alright, that was pretty quick. Then I go to show all, and we're going to export these maps into the desktop. Export resource, select folder. I don't need color map, I do need the curvature. Let's export that. Normal map, I'm not sure I need that. Thickness, sure. World space, position. Okay. And now I can exit this and pull up the scene where I have everything. And we're going to, whoops, that's my thumbnails. We're going to pull up these textures. I'm also going to grab my Cyberpunk Urgot texture, because that's the texture for the legs. Which one is it? I don't know if it's any of these. It's probably under the Color Skins website. Let's see, Project Urgot. Cyberpunk Urgot. Alright. Let's import that as well. Project. And I'm going to save Project Urgot. Cool. Alright, and I'm going to go to texture, set settings, and I'm going to add these maps that we baked out in the other scene. So thickness, where is it? Thickness map, world on space, curvature, and the AO, just in case I want to do some filter layers or generative layers with like masks and stuff. Alright, so let's throw on the ambient occlusion. There we go. I mean, it looks pretty nice. Even with the mirrored UVs, I think it did a pretty good job. So I'm going to add the texture for the legs. I don't have that separated out. That's okay. And just do this. Okay. Grab our Cyberpunk Urgot texture, and there we go. We have the texture for those legs. Alright, we're halfway there, guys. The guy who requested Urpog, he wanted me to reuse those the legs for this skin, so that is what we're doing. So I'm setting up a gradient color, and I'm gonna color pick from Mordekaiser. Let me make sure like the original concept has him mostly with a dark color, so I'm gonna pull that same dark color from Mordekaiser. Kind of color pick, slightly brighter color, and then something a bit brighter. Cool. Looks nice. Alright, and I'm going to take a look at the reference here. Next thing I want to do is block out those reds and where those will be. So these horns are going to be red. Hello. This part here has the red light. Cool. And what else? These parts here. Did I separate these into? No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, where's that UV? UV is. Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna take me too long to find it. Just block it out in the 3D, like so. Okay. If I separated out these into different like UV shells, then I could just do one click of a button. A single tap, but they are combined with the overall body. And we have this light here that is also red. And for the front part of the gun, yeah, that's not separate, so. Okay. Cool. Not sure why I added these here. I want to keep this as clean as possible. Okay. Let's check out his backside. His backside has the tubes, which are very vibrant red. Those are not separated. I believe I can see those pretty nicely here. I also did not mirror it. I think for these, I could have mirrored it, to be honest. But I mean, we have some extra space left on the UV, just in case, because I still need to make like the inside part of how like the base opens up. And I want to leave that for after I'm finished texturing, mostly. So I'm not 100% sure how that will look. Like that, okay. And I think that's fine. Maybe I'll deselect this part. Okay, see how that looks. Cool, I think that's good. Let's see. Apparently there's a little light up there. I think we can just paint that on. And, oh yes. Stabby part. Okay. And I think I'll also make this maroon whatever this maroon cable thing is, tube, to the same layer. So those UVs are right here. I try to keep these as straight as possible. Cool. Does he also have maroon tubes anywhere? I don't believe so. Okay. And then he has these like decal things here, which I'm not gonna worry about right now. All right, and then I'm gonna call this the dark metals, and then I'm gonna get the brown leather. Actually, I'll just call it leather. So we're gonna change color eventually at some point when we do chromas, which I will show you guys when we get to that stage. So for the brown leather, I'm going to add a fill layer just so I can see what I'm working with. Let's make it a blue color. And we're going to fill up all those areas with the brown leather. Side of his body. Accidentally put red there somehow. I need to actually connect that bit there. Oops. I think that's it. Then it's the base that has some brown. Shut up, Adobe. Some brown here. And for you guys that are in chat today, let me know if you think the music's too loud. Should be a good volume. Okay, and I'm not sure what color this is. I think those grenades are supposed to be red. I'm not 100% sure. But I'll do it just for now, just in case. Let me see where that UV is. It's right here. Okay. And let's make this color the appropriate color that it needs to be. I'm gonna try and color pick from the concept. But I'm gonna have to make up my own gradient. Tiny bit too loud compared to the volume of your mic. Oh, okay. Let me change that then. Down we go. Alright. Hopefully you can still hear that. I'm going to shift this color towards red and a little bit darker. Yeah, it's good? Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Vozu. Make this middle part a tad darker. For the brighter colors, I'm going to shift it towards orange just a bit. And I would like some more contrast overall, so I'm going to add levels underneath the gradient and just increase. Like so. I'm going to do the same for the dark middle. Okay. So we can really see those different parts separated. All right, what else? Let's do, okay, now we need to do the light color metal. Mellow. And I'm gonna pull this color from Mordekaiser. Again, for that the brightest color in this gradient, I don't want it to be like too bright because I like to paint highlights. So let me see. Okay, it's kind of purplish. Okay, and then let me kind of make sure these aren't too spaced out from each other. Okay. That's good enough. Now let's create a mask. And I'm gonna look here to this concept. Okay. Let's get these handles here. I believe this is a light metal as well. It's kind of floating. I'll have to fix that later. And then this part as well. Should be mirrored, yes. Let's see where that is on the UV. Okay, cool. And I never made a cap for that, shoot. It's okay. I'm gonna update the model later. And let's get the shoulder armor here. I'm just kind of tracing out where the edge is so that when I go to the UV, I can just fill up the areas that I need to fill. Yep. And looking at the UV, it's right here. All right. And then I'm also going to fill up the underside as well that we don't see. Okay, that looks good. I think the rim of this circle here is a light metal. Okay. All right. And usually when you do the triangle fill, it kind of gives you these rough edges. Let me make my mouse smaller. It gives you these very rough edges, but when you add a paint layer and go back and paint over that, then it'll get smoother. So it's gonna look a little bit grainy for a little bit. This should be separate. Okay. And we kind of changed the concept to this one. believe this part is the cap. So where is that on the UV? It's right here. Cool. Alright. Do I have this separated? Yes, I do. Let's get that backside as well. Where is that backside? Where's the backside UV? Sometimes it helps to switch to paint mode. Oh, here it is. Cool. Fill that up. Okay. Anything else? We have this front part for the base. How does it look on the back side? I think the whole thing is supposed to be the light metal. Okay. You can always adjust it later. Not too worried. The back side, let's take a look. Okay, this part's supposed to be leather, so let's do that. I'm just gonna fill the whole thing with leather. Actually, no. Thankfully, these UVs are mirrored, so I only have to worry about one side. It's the spine that's not mirrored. Okay, I think that's about right. Let's see this part. Okay. And the metal, the light metal, pretty much the entire spine. I can't tell if this part is supposed to be the light metal as well. I don't think so. I think the spine's supposed to stick out like that. I think this was inspired after Mordekaiser, so let's take a look at his design. Oh, not really helpful. Okay. That's okay. I think we're right. Actually, do I want to fill this part? No. There's a little piece that kind of goes kind of sideways. I think maybe I'll just paint it somewhere here. Why isn't it filling? Oh, because leather's on top, of course. Okay, and then now let's get into the nitty-gritty details. So this is going to be a dark metal. Let's see. Yeah, that whole piece, pretty much. I believe the tube connector is also a dark metal. Okay. All right. I think we can start having fun now and just start painting. What about the gun? The gun. All right, the gun should be simple. Let's see. This part. All that. Okay, and then this piece as well. The side. I don't want this covered. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to. Where is that UV? Where is the UV? The UV. I think it was somewhere here. Oh, there it is. Sometimes if you do Control Z and then Control Y to like fill it up, then you'll be able to spot it easier. Okay. I'm just gonna keep that in this inside dark. I can't really tell, but I think this is supposed to be a brighter metal. And then we'll be finished with blocking out the places where materials are different. So where is that UV? Control Z, Control Z. Okay, here we are. Fill that. So underside needs to be filled, and the backside. Okay. Pararu says, I did it finally. Yay, another stream. Welcome back. Nice to have you here. Let me do the shoulder armor here real quick. Filling up that space. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. And then I'll paint those edges manually. Okay. I believe the arm is supposed to be a bright metal as well. It really isn't detailed in the concept. I believe it's inspired after Mordekaiser, so let's take a look. Okay, yeah. This part's supposed to be bright. And I believe the part underneath is supposed to be darker. Okay, take a look at the UV. Cool. Everything else I'm not sure about, but that's okay. We'll just get started on having some actual fun. Looks like I'm missing a bit of a light color here. There. All right. I want to start with the helmet first because I want to copy what Timo did here. Pretty much as close as possible. So I'm going to color pick from his concept. And it does have kind of this bluish highlight, which I think is really nice. Thinking about where the light source is and how it's going to be hitting the helmet from the top-down view. I don't want it to be too bright. But I do want it to feel like a glass type of material. Kind of like a tinted black glass where you can't really see on the inside. We're obviously not going to see his face. Switching over to a soft brush. So we want this to have sort of a circular, spherical kind of shape. Smoothing out that gradient. Looks pretty, I'm not sure what the term is for, but when you can like very clearly see the lines in a gradient, I'm not sure what that term is called, but we're not a fan of that. I'm gonna grab this red color and sort of lightly put it over the metal or the glass. So it's like reflecting. I don't want it to be too strong because then it's going to compete for attention with the actual horns, and we don't want that. I'm going to increase my flow. Okay, I think that's good for that for right now. And let's grab, he does use a very bright kind of bluish color for the brightest part of the metal, which I'm not sure is consistent with the existing skins. They do have a bluish color, but it's not as strong. I'm gonna grab from Mordekaiser's back here because it looks pretty bright. I'm gonna go back to this concept and see, make sure I'm honoring the topology. Grab my circle brush and just start blocking out this highlight, the brightest part. Thinking about where the edges of the metal are. This part's pretty bright as well. Pretty clear cut here. I'll make that visible. Okay. Might make this red color a bit brighter so I can actually see. So I can think in my mind, oh, that's like an actual light source. That's really bright. I might actually do the ambient occlusion with the gradient and just kind of pull some of the colors here. This is kind of orangish, and I believe we're going for more of a red color. So I'm going to grab from Mordekaiser instead. It's looking too dark. Think about there is okay. Not sure why there's some bluish color in there. Is it my gradient? It's not. Okay. It's all right. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'm gonna work some of the bright metal piece here. Making sure to color pick from Mordekaiser because he's a skin that exists in the game, and we want him to feel consistent with Urgot. Or we want Urgot to feel consistent with him. Again, thinking about those edges. I don't recall, but I believe there's like a hard edge here. So how do you guys feel about the texturing process? Do you feel like it's a lot more fun than watching, ZBrush, retopology, UVs? Which part of the process do you feel like is the least entertaining for you guys? I'd like to know what you guys think. Because that way, like, if you don't find it as entertaining, then I can like try not to spend too many streams working on that particular part of the process, and just try to like move the model along to a process that you guys feel like you have a lot more fun with. I want to make sure this stuff is entertaining for you guys. Nico says, I think the most boring part is retopology. Yeah. I think in ZBrush, like, we are kind of figuring stuff out and blocking things and seeing how it like takes shape in 3D form. But once we get to the retopology, it's like we're kind of already building on what we've already made. So it's like there's not really anything new. It's just a matter of like, the only really new thing about retopology is that we're seeing how it translates to a much lower poly version. But outside of that, like, it's probably not that important or inventive. TBH, everything is equally interesting, but concept and texturing is my favorite thing to watch. Kind of move things a little bit here. But it's also interesting at the same time for people who want to learn how to do it. Yeah, I definitely want to like showcase every part of the process, no matter what model I'm working on. But I can spend like less time showing you guys a particular part, so I guess retopology is going to be one of them. So looks nice. I'm gonna grab this bright value. Just block out this middle piece that sits on top. Thinking about through the 3D shape and how the part that sticks out the most is going to catch the most light. This part, I need to respect the edges. Yeah, I think for me at least, I kind of enjoy every part of the process just because everything is like built on each other. So it's really important to dedicate a lot of time to each part. But if I had to say which one was my like absolute favorite, it's probably texturing for sure. Just because this is the stage where, I've built the whole model, I built the UVs, I spent time sculpting things out. Now, when I get to the texturing stage, this is how I finalize the model for the end game and really make sure that it looks great. It's like all that time before was preparation. I'm gonna brighten up these. And I'm just sort of like roughly blocking out where those highlights will be. Not really worried too much about not really worried about getting into those details and making sure every single little piece is perfect. Let me shake out my hand real quick. I usually like to turn off this symmetry line. Okay, let's get that back. Looks pretty cool, I think. It's definitely shaping up. Let's see, the gun, is this part, I think that's supposed to be darker metal. Not too sure. For the gun, I kind of want to think about those edges, so I don't want to spend too much time like repolishing over it. My favorite skin line? That is a tough question because there's so many that I like. In general, like I really like happy and bright skins, so like Space Groove. I was a huge fan of Star Guardian. I still am. I think right now it's a little bit stale, just because it feels kind of repetitive. But Star Guardian is definitely one of my all-time favorites for a long time. Space Groove is amazing. I love that, like, I don't know, it fits like 80s or 70s, whatever, 90s maybe, disco type of vibe. And it's like a plastic sci-fi feel overall, which I really love. I think that skin line is great. What else? Favorite skin line? I mean, Cafe Cuties is okay. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Yeah, I think Star Guardian and Space Groove. Space Groove probably more. I like Spirit Blossom. I know a lot of people like that skin line as well. But I don't know. It's just not that much for me. The colors are nice. The colors and the designs are pretty. But I wouldn't call it my favorite. Pool Party's a good one. I know a lot of people don't like that one because it's like, in their minds, it's basically a bunch of champions in bikinis or sexy clothing, and like trying to show as much skin as possible. But I don't really think it's that way. I think it's like a really fun skin line compared to something like Ocean Song, which is like, I feel like it takes itself a lot more seriously. Like, yeah, it's still kind of fun, but Pool Party, you know, has like water guns. Like, take Gangplank for example. Gangplank literally turned into a barbecue dad, which I think is really funny. A funny way to contextualize him. And like Braum, he ended up like a tiki bar kind of guy, which I think is really a neat way to recontextualize him as well. Syndra, like they had fun with her orbs and they turned them into like beach balls, which is a really fun idea. It's just like a goofy, good time type of skin line, which I like. I hope they bring it back. The most recent Spirit Blossom skins were mid, unfortunately. I don't know if I agree. I really like how Darius turned out and Yorick, because I feel like those were champions who probably wouldn't have normally been considered for a Spirit Blossom skin, but the way that they handled the design and making it work with those champions turned out really well, in my opinion. I think, you know, it's usually the case that like the first batch of skins in a new skin line are really solid. Like like the Spirit Blossom skin line. I think the second batch of Space Grid wasn't that great, if I'm gonna be honest. I think Blitzcrank was like peak robot cat vibes. I really like Space Group Gragas, actually. I think they did a really great job recontextualizing his character in a non like overly joking way that like makes fun of how fat he is. And I also like Space Group Orn. I think that one's great as well. But yeah, Lux was like probably peak Space Group for most people. Nasus is fun. They're all great skins. Lysandra, I think, could have been a legendary for sure. Like, if you could have done an evil legendary for that skin line, she was the one. But, nope. We needed Teemo. Teemo's cute, I mean, it's whatever. I just don't think we needed him as a legendary. But, oh well. They made their choice. Alright. Rendering out that middle quite a bit. Let's kind of shift over to the base. Start blocking out where those lights are going to hit. See the topology. Let me check back to see. Okay, this is light. Yes, light color. Okie dokie. Alright, feel good with that. Let's get back to the dark metal and start rendering some of that, making sure to pull color from Mordekaiser. I'm going to grab kind of this bright gray value that's not exactly overly purple. Actually, let me take a look at his UVs. That's usually a better place where I can grab color. Honestly, I wish they gave legendary skins to the super old champions. Imagine Winter the Celestialian, but legendary. I agree, yeah, that would be amazing. I love the Winter Celestialian skin. It's just really unfortunate that his rig is so clunky and old. I wish they gave him legendary for sure. But I guess maybe he doesn't have that much of a player base. But at the same time, I feel like if you make a really solid legendary for a champion that has like pretty decent gameplay, then people are going to feel more compelled to buy that legendary skin and also play the champion. Like, I play Kaisa a lot when I'm forced to play ADC with my friends. And when her Star Guardian skin came out, I really loved it, and I got it. Because, I mean, it's just like a really pretty skin, and that like made me play her a lot more. I don't know if there's a champion that I have a legendary for that I ended up playing a lot more because of it. Can't really think of one right now. If I had to say like my favorite skin, like legendary skin in the game, it's probably Dawnbringer Soraka. You guys probably expect me to say Battle Queen Katarina, which, yes, I love that skin. But I think like aesthetically, with all the visuals and what a beautiful job they did on that skin, that's probably like my favorite because I just think it delivers on every single thing that I like about that type of skin for Dawnbringer. The colors, the music, especially on the dance. I mean, it's very nice. I hope they announce in January what the next ASUs will be after Lee Sin and Teemo. I don't know if it'll be that soon. I don't remember when they announced the Lee Sin and Teemo. Well, I think it was at the beginning of the year, right? That might be the case. Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of champions that need ASUs, so I can't really say, oh, I really, really want this champion to get the ASU next, because a lot of them deserve to get it. But I do feel like Gragas and Zillion are like top priority in my mind. But at the same time, I feel like they also kind of need like mid scopes or some sort of gameplay update, because I feel like they struggle a lot with dealing against newer champions, and they have a pretty low play rate. Let me see how this hand looks. I don't really get too much detail from the concept on this hand, so I'm gonna have to figure out a lot of things. I love Dawnbreaker Soraka. She's one of my mains, so yeah, she's amazing. Every time I play Soraka, I play that skin. A lot of people also like the Nightbringer skin of her, but I can't say I'm a fan. I definitely prefer the lighter version. It's just pretty. It's a pretty skin. Kind of rounding out these highlights here, just because I don't want them to extend like too far. Oopsie. Let's take a look in here. There is a. I'm gonna go to the darker color. Take a look at Mordekaiser to color pick from him. Alright, this engraving part is a little bit darker, so I'm going to copy that here as well. I should have toggled the symmetry line so it could mirror on both sides. There we go. And I'm going to grab this dark color and also block that out here. Let's turn on symmetry. Okay. Here. Come on. I have to paint that, I guess. Oh, that did not do a good job. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is crazy. I want an ASU for Janna. That hairstyle isn't doing her any favors. I agree. I think she needs an AC as well. I think her gameplay is fine. Her player base, like, she probably gets a lot of play as well, so she's definitely a pretty good contender for an ASU. I think the most popular demanded ASUs are probably, I don't know if Katarina is one of them. At least I personally want her to have an ASU pretty soon, because I feel like her gameplay is pretty solid. Aside from the item choices, because she kind of doesn't really have like a core item, she just builds whatever. But think overall she's definitely like in a good spot and she could receive an ASU. A lot of people are demanding for Misfortune from what I see, which I think I agree with as well, but not too much over Katarina. I feel like Katarina could use it more. Just because she's, obviously I'm biased because she's my main. And what else are people demanding? Oh, LeBlanc is a good one. Hate playing against her, but yeah, she could definitely use an ASU to update her visuals. Right now she's kind of like stripper magician, which doesn't really work for her character. And then yeah, Lux as well. Lux definitely needs an ASU. She's a very popular champion, so yeah, she's definitely a good fit as well. I think they want to take their time before they get to Lux because of the legendary skins that she has. Even though for Ahri they didn't really touch those. And honestly, I think they're fine the way that they are. I'm not really sure, but she does have a lot of skins, so it would be a lot of work. Yeah, Lux ASU would be great as well. I forget who else. Those are kind of like the top ones from what I can say off the top of my head. If it were up to me, I would definitely ask for Zillion and Gragas. Because I feel like it just doesn't make sense that they exist in the game with the way they look right now. If they give Lux an ASU, the players will flip. Not in a good way, but I really hope she gets updated the year of the next. What do you mean they'll flip out? Like, you mean like they're gonna like flip out as in enjoy it, like, or they're not gonna like it, or what? Okay, feel pretty good about that chest plate for right now. Let's move on over to his tubes. Looks like these kind of have like a bluish color. I'm not really sure if it's supposed to be the same like dark color overall. So I'm just gonna pull from the concept. Kind of has this bluish color. You know the meme, oh, Lux is 10 skin this year. They will be mad if she gets an ASU before other champs. Yeah, probably. I see what you mean. I kind of get what you mean, but I feel like people could have done that with Ahri too. Because she's like one of those like girly pop champions that get a lot of skins and love in general. But yeah, I understand like Lux has like a pretty notorious, she's pretty notorious for getting too much love from Riot. Okay, I think that's good. What else can I do? Do some of the gun here, I guess. I'm gonna try and copy from my concept here. Ahri's gorgeous after her update. I just like her tails clipping when she walks. I don't really play Ahri, so I haven't noticed that issue. And I don't think they'll ever fix it. They probably don't think it's a big deal. But yeah, they did a really good job with her update. We are at the 1 hour mark, guys, so if you have any additional questions for today, please make sure you ask within the next few minutes. But I will be calling it off in like 5 minutes, so. Can we have a pink chroma for Sleigh Bell Cat? I don't think so. Just because, like, I want to basically improve what Riot already have done with her, and they don't have any chromas of that skin specifically. So I don't think I'm gonna take the extra time to make a chroma for her. Just because like her ASU is gonna be a lot of work, and I don't want to like make extra content for each of the new skins. But if you, as a modder, would like to create a chroma for her, then I can give you all the masks for like the different layer mask, and you can edit yourself. Just as long as you give credit to me as the original ASU model, then I'm totally fine with that. Shake out my hand. Let's turn off the wireframe. I usually like to make it completely black, actually. Let's turn it off for now. I feel like we made pretty good progress today. Let's paint a little bit more the leather. Yay, yeah. I'll be happy to send you the files. Just kind of blocking out some of the light areas for the leather. Is that whole part leather? Let me check. It is not. It is a dark metal. So let me take a look here and just trying to figure out what makes sense. Maybe something like this. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the UV and just erase in there. Why do you use Substance Painter and not 3D Coat? So I don't really use 3D Coat because I know like a lot of artists that do hand painting stuff do use 3D Coat, and I can understand why. But for me personally, like I use Substance Painter for all of my 3D stuff, even like non-league related content. And I'm able to work with like normal maps, metallic, the heck is going on here? Metallic, like reflections and stuff, and then I believe that's it, like height maps as well. So the program, like I'm a lot more comfortable with it. I don't really know anything about 3D Coat, And if I have a program that works for what I need, like I don't feel a need to switch over to something that I don't know how to use. But yeah, that's why. I'm able to accomplish the same things that an artist using 3D code would accomplish with this program anyway, so. Yeah. We are at the end of the stream here, guys. Thank you for attending and giving me some company. Let me try to turn off the wireframe here so we can see our progress. This is the progress for today. I feel like it's pretty solid base, especially for the short time frame that we covered all of this model. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be going back to Sleigh Bell Katarina, the texturing, and then on Monday I'm going to be working on a new model. It's going to be the Bee Zoe skin. Let me pull it up on my Twitter. Let's see, this bee skin, which is made by, I believe you pronounce it as Xiao Xia. It might be Xiao. But I found this, I was looking for a concept for a Zoe skin because I love playing Zoe. She's one of my mains. And I was trying to find one online that was like really good. And there just wasn't really that many out there. And then on ArtStation, I bumped into this one. I was like, oh, this is absolutely perfect. And so I want to have fun with creating this one. So we're going to start modeling that on Monday. We're going to be doing, you know, the whole beginning of the pipeline. We're going to have to be starting from ZBrush, then into Maya, retopology, all that. So you guys will get to see that process again. And then I think on Tuesday, depending how we feel, I can go back to Project Urgot texturing. But yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, that's it for today. Feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified for when I'm going to be going live. And that's it. Tomorrow we'll be working on Sleigh Bell Katarina. And yeah, so bye-bye. That's the end of the stream.